And I want to tell people that you are the sum of the 4 people that you spend your most time around.
But it's the truth.
You are the sum. So if I put you around nothing but highly motivated, successful people, you will be the 5th. Now, if I put you around unmotivated people, you're going to be the 5th unmotivated person. So instead of being insecure, be inspired about that person that's trying to give you that gem.
Welcome to the Don't Let That Go Over Your Head podcast, starring Q the Boss.
Yo. Welcome back to another episode of Don't Let That Go Over Your Head podcast. They call me Q the Boss. I'm excited today, man. Listen, I'm going to be honest with you.
It's a great one.
Anytime I have guests, I get excited.
Yeah.
I get really excited because when I say guests, remember they're friends and family to me. I usually bring people on this episode that I know. Yeah. And when I bring someone, it's because I trust them. And I know they're going to bring y'all the gems and the diamonds that y'all want to hear. Mm-hmm. Very knowledgeable and good at what they're talking. And they're legit people. Today, exactly. I got a special guest. Mm-hmm. I'm going to give you a round of applause before I even say this. Mr. George Baptiste Jr. Junior, you got to make sure you say Junior. I know Mr. Junior, Baptiste. Yeah. So how is this George guy? Who is this guy?
This guy is somebody that started from the ground. You saw me. I've been with you since New Lifestyles, your first very shop in Baldwin.
Yes.
Been through it all. Right?
Yes.
You watched me elevate.
Yes.
Right? From a guy
I was 19 years old when I was in the shop.
Exactly.
19.
Cutting my hair and seeing you elevate. And you have played also a primary role, seeing your elevation, which motivated me to be where I'm at. So I'm somebody that started from the ground up. Stayed in the Baldwin School District. Now I was able to land a corporate job at Mercedes-Benz Manhattan, top sales rep. First year, did over $2.2 million worth of sales.
2.2 million in sales.
Yeah, and we just getting started, Q.
You know, let me give you some flowers before we get started. Years ago, when I met the young George, and I'm talking about young George, I've always seen a very high ambition.
Yeah.
And the one thing I loved about you is you would learn business. Mm-hmm. Most people wanted to be in business, but they didn't want to learn business.
Exactly.
The difference is you wanted to learn business also. Mm-hmm. So like one thing I always saw with you, I was like, damn, he wants to know business. He not just say, yo, I want to own a business.
Yeah.
That's one aspect.
Exactly.
But understanding how the business operates is what I saw with you from a young age.
Yeah.
And man, to see you flourish and become who you are, he bought his home in, just so we're gonna say, in New York State. That's not easy for a very young guy. Mm-hmm. Tell him, how old are you? When you bought your home, how old were you?
When I bought my home, I was 21 years old.
Oh, stop it! Don't even go further. That ain't regular. Yo, guys, just so y'all understand, that ain't regular.
Yeah.
Because when we talking about up in New York State, you talking $500,000 minimum. $500,000 minimum.
And who did I call before I made the move?
I want you to say. Yeah. I don't like to say this thing.
So I called Q before I made the move, right? So I bought it at 21. This was during COVID.
Yes.
And me and Q both have something in common because the reason why I made the purchase, I was staying with my parents and our house had actually burned down. Right?
Yes.
So me and Q can actually relate on certain levels because that's overcoming adversity.
100%.
So this is during COVID.
Yes.
I'm having a daughter, who is here with me today. She's 5 years old. And I'm like, I have to get the family settled. I have to do something. So I took that risk. I started a new corporate job at Mercedes-Benz, and I have to do something to get my family right. It was a risk. Sometimes in life you have to take a risk, but Q, it was probably the best decision that I ever made. And I'm going to make 5.5 years this coming March in my house.
Wow.
Being the main provider at 28 years old. So it's a blessing, Q. It keeps me motivated. So I'm glad. Yeah,
I don't understand how much of a full circle moment for me it is because I always knew he could. I'm gonna just be honest with you. He's one of them ones. And when I say one of them ones, I'm like, he's one of them gifted ones. He's one of them special ones. He's one of those guys that at my later age now, I'm even inspired by by him. I'm always inspired by him because how disciplined he is, how resilient he is, right? The one thing I love about you, and I'm gonna say it one word, if I had to summarize you in one word, I will say resilient, bro. Because one thing I've seen is a lot of adversity. I've seen people tell you that you couldn't, but the one thing is you always told you could.
Yeah.
And even when you had like struggling moments, I watched you still push through.
Kept going.
I'm gonna be honest with you. There's a video I seen of you, and it made me smile. You were heavy, and you were laying on a couch, and I was like, "That's when he probably was depressed."
I was depressed.
No one knows.
That's why I was staying in the hotel. I was at my lowest. I was 268 pounds. 268 pounds, and I felt fatigue. I didn't have the stamina. I didn't have the mindset for me to keep going. I was at my lowest, and I overcame them dark days. I just kept working. I just kept slow motion, guys, is better than no motion. Every day I try to get 1% better. Every day, and still to this day. And look where it's got me.
But you see, this is the term that what I love is when they say Rome wasn't built in a day. A lot of people tend to. It's a true statement.
It's a true thing.
It's a discipline thing. And one thing we have to understand is success comes with compound interest. It's constantly compounding many small victories, right? Meaning, okay, I might not drink soda anymore.
Yeah.
Celebrate that victory.
Yeah.
Right? You know what? I said I was gonna save $1,000 and I actually made it to $1,000. Celebrate that victory.
Yeah.
But I feel like we put these big goals that actually take long periods of time to achieve. And a lot of people don't celebrate the small victories on their journey to becoming great. And I think that's where a lot of people find on their journey to becoming like, yo, you know what? I've done some dope things, bro. And I'm like, sometimes I have to even remind myself, like,
exactly.
I'm him.
You have to keep that as a reminder in your head, and people will call you delusional.
Of course.
People will call you delusional. I was actually called, one word, I was called hubris.
Hubris.
I was called hubris. So,
Hubris.
guys, for people who don't know who hubris was or is somebody or something with excessive pride.
Okay.
So now with your dreams, sometimes, in my personal opinion, you have to be delusional with your dream.
I 100% agree. Because you know what it is? Because the one thing about life is when you go to sleep, you don't share the same dreams. And sometimes when people sleeping on you.
We just getting started, by the way.
Listen, just so you know that. You heard that, Dre, though.
Yes.
But one thing about life, when you go to sleep, you don't share the same dreams. And the thing is, you were seeing your dream while you were sleeping. And while you were woke, you were seeing it both ways.
Yeah.
People couldn't see it, but you saw it. I'm gonna be honest with you. I've always saw it. I've always knew it. I'm like, yo, this guy's one of those guys.
Yeah.
I said, the moment you put everything into the same pot, the recipe's gonna be amazing. It's just about just putting it together.
Yeah.
And it's figuring it out. And that's one thing people don't understand. It's okay to not have it figured out. It's okay to be discovering new things about yourself. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, I've unlocked things in me that I didn't even know that even existed. I'm like, wow, I'm a warrior.
Yeah.
I'm not no longer a survivor. I'm actually learning how to live.
But if you watch yourself on a screen,
Yes.
let's say when you were just starting that new lifestyle, and I showed you a video of Q today, you wouldn't believe yourself.
No.
So
No.
you have to be delusional.
Yes.
When it comes to your dream.
Yes.
Because
Yes.
if you're not, you will sell yourself short.
You know what's weird? Would you agree with this? Along the journey, you start seeing like little glimpses of yourself. The car, the life, the house. You see like little flashes.
Yeah.
And it's weird because it's like, could that really be me?
Yeah.
And then when you start telling people who already made reservation on who you are, it's hard to take them to a different space of seeing you at a different space.
Yes.
Because they already made a belief. But my question is, when they called you this term, why do you think they called you that?
Because I probably painted myself bigger than what they thought. They probably try to marginalize me and put me in a category and say, and that's what most people do. That's what
100%.
most people do.
100%.
Whether it be if you're in corporate America, if you're working a job, most people have a ceiling for you. Most people have a climax that they think that you're going to hit. And once you surpass that, and you didn't take that same route that that person thought you would take, then it becomes a problem.
Because you know what it is, when you look at, it's kind of sad when someone put You know, on a car, you put something called the governor, which makes the car only allowed to go to a certain speed.
Yes.
When they put that governor on you, automatically you see that they're like, oh my God, he's going past what I thought he could. And rather than saying, yo, you know what, I was wrong,
Yeah.
they're gonna just act like you cheated or you did something special to get to where you are. No, I just did the work.
And this is why most people fail. Most people fail is because they can't overcome adversity.
Yes.
Now, if I would have let this person or this saying cap me, I would have failed. But instead, I removed that cap, and then now look, I'm getting 1% better every day.
My question is, how meaningful to you, that person that said that to you, how meaningful at that time was their opinion about you?
It hurt me deeply. I had to do a lot of soul searching because I cared about that person. I cared about what that person thought of me. And when that person tried to put that cap on me, I'm like, wow, I got some work to do. But it was probably the best thing that ever happened to me. I had to do some deep dive in. I was like, okay, number one, I have to fix myself first. First of all, I'm overweight. I'm 268 pounds. Let me spin this, right? Let me see how this can help me in my everyday. So number one, what I did, early wake up time.
Yes.
Started to wake up early. So no more 11, 12 o'clock. Now I'm taking my day head on. Number two, I dropped all vices. I stopped smoking weed, stopped smoking the vape, stopped drinking. So I removed everything out of my life that I knew was gonna affect my day to day. And I started to hit the gym. And you guys can check my TikTok. I show my transformation at all times. No, this is not Ozempic. This is not nothing. This is just nothing but pure hard work and grit. And this is another reason why most people fail is because they are lacking the core start to their day. If you do not start your day how you want to, the day will take on you.
You know something crazy? There's a video that I seen the other day on TikTok. And it's sad because, as you said, that when people put limits on you, there's a heavyset woman, right? She shows that every time she hits a mile, she'd be like, mile 1, then you don't see the work, then she's like mile 2, and then you don't see the work, but by the end of it, she's at mile 10. And they're like, first thing they do, and I like to go to the comments just to see how people that don't know this person, they put limits on that person just because they're assessing the person based on what they perceive of the person. She's a heavy-set woman, so they automatically assume that her being heavy means that she can't run long distance. So long story short, she showed that she did a marathon. And she really did a marathon and really, really got miles in. So I'm like, you see, this is the problem I'm seeing in society. It's because I feel like we project. Once we feel like you're the anomaly, I'm special, people can't reach my levels, therefore, when someone reaches a level that's higher than you, you can't respect because you feel like you can't do. So I think that a lot of people, they put limits on you. You know, and would you say so far that's been a lot of your adversities with leveling up?
Of course. People will only expect certain things out of you. And now people realize that I'm raising a daughter at a young age. Well, I had her at a young age. I bought a house at a young age. And so now they're looking at me and I'm doing this and I'm succeeding at, now I become a superhero. So now they put this cap and then now they want to be like, wow, congratulations. I knew you could do it.
Fake love.
I knew you could do it.
Could you?
I knew it within myself I could do it.
But did they know that?
No, they didn't know that.
Listen, but you know it's weird because I become the favorite of everybody now because of what I've accomplished. When I was the felon that was just coming home and was just looking for guidance. I was never looking for a handout. One thing I want to establish is one thing
guys.
I love that about you.
Way.
You've never looked for a handout. That's the one thing. You look for guidance. You look for direction.
Exactly.
That's what I looked for. So coming home from prison, I looked for guidance. I didn't look for no handout. I didn't want no one to give me a handout.
We don't want handouts.
No. So I said, you know, now that you fast forward and you achieving and you substantially doing better than what people think they can, now they start saying things like, you was always my favorite. I knew you was this person. I was going to do this. And I'm like, did you? But I was the person that would ask you, could I sleep on your couch? You would have told me, hell no. You know? But now you expect me to just open my doors to you. Which is crazy. And I don't hold a grudge against them. But once you show me your hand, it's hard for me to unsee what I've seen. I know who you truly are. Would you agree?
I agree. I agree. I agree greatly. Because you have to, number one, we don't want any handouts. What we want to do is we want to take people's opinion, who we value, who we look up to, and you kind of want to formulate your own lane. So you want to take bits and pieces of what people are giving you, and you kind of want to blend it up to a certain extent and make it into your own lane. That's how you formulate success.
Listen, to me,
it's a game, Q.
You see, I mentor a lot of people. A lot. And what makes me feel good as a mentor is when my mentees do things at an earlier age than me. So when I hear young guys, they supersede my age, meaning younger rather. Like if I bought a house at 28 and they were able to buy a house at 21, it's like, holy crap. What?
Yeah.
And to me, I think that's where you see greatness, because I genuinely believe that if you don't make your mission bigger than you, God won't make it big enough for you. And that's what I had to learn.
That's a gem right there.
Yes, I'm being honest.
Say that again, please, one more time.
If you don't make the mission bigger than you, God won't make it big enough for you. And it took me a while to learn that. I kept saying I want a bigger house, or I want a big house, but I realized it was for me. When I started saying things like, God, I want a bigger house for my family. God, I want more finances so I can put my children in the school districts I want. I started making my mission bigger than me, and I started seeing that God started making it big enough for me.
Now I want to ask you a question, Q. Give me 3 characteristics that every successful person has.
Time management. Your time is, you have to respect it like you respect your mother or you respect God. Your time has to, you have to feel like the way you respect God, you have to respect your time. I don't care if you're a dollaire, millionaire, or zillionaire, you have to still respect your time, right? Secondly, I would say being disciplined. Being very disciplined. And my last word I would say is you have to have the willingness to sacrifice.
Yes.
Because there were days where I would see people on the gram, and I'm going to be honest with you, I'm like, damn, I want to be there.
Yeah.
And I had to say no.
You kind of feel like you're missing out.
Yes. But that's a FOMO though, right? The fear of missing out. It's natural. And I started looking at like, yo, I remember, I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. I used to look at certain people's stories and I used to live through them. I used to enjoy what they were doing when I was disciplined doing what I had to do. But when you fast forward, the people I was subconsciously looking up to and, oh my God, yo, they on a boat somewhere.
Yeah.
Fast forward, my life has changed to the point where I can do what they doing anytime I want. But I didn't realize.
You bought back your time.
I bought back my time.
You bought back your time.
I bought back my time.
And guys, what I mean by that is what wealthy people do. And I've been very fortunate enough to be around people who I pray to be like. Especially at Mercedes-Benz, I meet celebrities.
Give me some names. I'm gonna give you one.
Yeah.
Adam Silver. Who's Adam Silver?
Yeah, Adam Silver is the commissioner of the NBA. That was a crazy experience. Guess who just walked into the dealership the other day? Tamron Hall. Who was a big one. Little Uzi, Meek Mill. You guys, you name it. I probably connected with them, sold a car. But most people successful people buy back their time. So what they do is they take money from their 9 to 5, which is a job.
Yes.
And a job is just over broke.
It is.
So your 9 to 5 is supposed to fund your 10 to 6. Your 10 to 6 is your work. Your work is your craft. Your work is your passion. So once you take that money and you invest into your craft, that's when you're able to leave your 9 to 5 and grow your passion.
100%. Even like I got one of my mentors, he stays at his job just for medical benefits. And he'll tell you that. He's like, yo, Q, every time they have politics at his job, he don't even care. He'll be like, Q, I just do my minimum and go.
That's it.
Because he wants the medical benefits.
Because most people don't realize, sorry to cut you off, most people don't realize how expensive medical benefits
100%.
You can go to a doctor, right? And somebody told me a story, right? Just going to a doctor, right, to put a bandage on a sprained ankle could charge you upward to $5,500.
That sounds crazy, right?
Crazy.
A bandage. When I could get that done with my woman for free.
No. Wow.
You hear something so crazy? So today, I was talking to a guy. He said to me, he gives me these praises that I think are ridiculous. because he tries to make me like the unicorn. And I asked him some simple factors today. I said, could you be on time all the time? He said, yes. I said, could you start saving your money? He said, yes. I said, could you be disciplined? He said, yes. I said, could you sacrifice? He said, yes. I said, you sound like you could be me. And when I said that to him, he looked at me like, I said, bro, everything I just told you, that's all I do. I don't think I'm special, bro.
You lived it.
Yes. It's just I was willing to do, and I see that's with you. You're willing to do what people aren't willing to do. Because it takes a very strong mind at such a young age to be able to live above influence. As you can see, social media is very influential in people's lives.
Look what you've done.
Yes.
Look what you've done.
But again, it makes you feel like you don't have anything, so you start acting like you have a lot. And you never get a lot. You know, my theory is if you act like you're here, when you're really here, you'll never get here because you already think you're here.
Absolutely.
But if you think you're here, but you're working on becoming here, you eventually will get here because you're working your way up. But some people, they think they're already there. And social media has given them the platform to portray an image that is false.
Yes.
And I'm like, damn, it's just so crazy.
I got to piggyback off of that now. So social media is a blessing and a curse, and I'll tell you why, right? Because social media, people only post their best self.
Of course, the highlight reel.
The highlight reel.
Yes.
They'll never post when they're having a bad day. They never post when they got let go. They'll only post their best self.
Yes.
Now, social media has also changed a lot of lives. Best-selling author right here.
Yes.
Like it has sent a lot of people in a whole different direction.
Stratosphere. Yes. Yes.
So
yes.
you kind of have to use social media to your advantage. And now what I'm using social media for, to tell my story, my weight loss journey.
Yes.
And I actually just put up a video the other day, and it actually got a lot of views because I was showing my transformation. I said, these two steroids have helped me get to where I need to be. And you know, that hook, that steroid, people think, oh wow, well what had him lose 60 pounds? And you know what those two ingredients was discipline and consistency.
Say it again.
Discipline and consistency. And a lot of people had to watch that video to the end, and I know a lot of people like, wow, you really got me on this one.
It's crazy how you have to trick the mind to capture it.
Yes.
And it's like a lot of people. Today we was in a shop, and I told one of the guys, I said, I'm gonna show you something. Watch how I'm gonna show you today. He was like, I wanna see it. I said, watch. I waited a little while. I brought up a conversation about a particular rapper. He was so indulged in this conversation. Yeah, but like you would think they knew each other.
Yeah.
Then I said, I didn't say nothing to him. I stayed quiet. Then I brought up finance.
Yeah.
By the time I started talking about finance, he shifted and went right into his phone. And I said, I just showed you something. He said, what? I said, when I was having that conversation about the rapper, you were overly indulged in it. You were so invested in that conversation, you would think there was an ROI on that thing. There was a return on that investment. The way you feel about that rapper so much, you would think that you was getting some kind of return. I said, but when I told you that's something that could give you a return, potentially make you money, you ignored that conversation because of the fact that you're so overly indulged on what others are doing, you can't see what you're not doing.
And this is the problem with social media. A lot of people get too invested in the young thug story. Too many people get invested in the Diddy story, right? So you can either use social media to keep up with the Kardashians, or you can use it to your advantage to make that back.
Listen, you could be next to the Kardashians.
Exactly.
But again, it's one starts with one belief in itself. I think that word he used about you, I think the only time a person, like for me, I'm the kind of person, let's say if I want to borrow $20 from somebody, this is a hypothetical conversation. But what I would do is I would call a person, I would say, yo, do you have any work that I could do so I can make $20 off of you? That's how I am. That's my level of pride. I'd rather say, let me do something and get some level of exchange. So I'm giving you something, so you're giving me something. So therefore, I feel like it's neutral. Opposed to me just being codependent on you giving me something rather than not giving you value for value.
Exactly, and I agree with that. And going back to, that conversation that you had at the barbershop when he was so invested in talking in the rapper, and then when you started talking about something knowledgeable, finance, he kind of, shied away.
Yes.
And I want to tell people that you are the sum of the 4 people that you spend your most time around.
But it's the truth.
You are the sum. So if I put you around nothing but highly motivated, successful people, you will be the 5th. Now, if I put you around unmotivated people, you're going to be the 5th unmotivated person. So instead of being insecure, be inspired about that person that's trying to give you that gem. And
Yes.
that's what I did at my time of Benz, right? I was first the youngest to start.
Yes.
I was the only black.
Yes.
Right? Well, I wasn't the only black. I was one of 3 black on the sales team out of 30 people. And rather than me coming into the dealership thinking I know everything, I'm a newbie, what I did was I listened, I learned, and I applied. And that was the true key to my success.
It's a switch.
It was a switch.
Switch.
That's what helped me. So if you can't listen, learn, and apply, and that's what I tell Ali. I said, I want you to listen, learn, and have fun every time you step into school, and just be great, baby girl. That's it.
But that's where when you know that you can inspire someone to be great, and you know the method and the formula to doing it, you tend to I think right now, I'm at a space right now, I think the biggest purchase or the biggest investment I've ever made is in my own happiness. It took me a while to learn money is a necessary, right? And
It is.
I don't
It's how we live.
overly value it, but I don't undervalue it. I understand the need for it. I understand the premise and the purpose for it. But I think what I've learned now is happiness is way more valuable than constantly worried about the next number. Because I'll be honest with you, numbers don't end. So it'd be an endless thing. It has to be some kind of purpose. Like you say, you know what? I want my daughter to have her own room. I want my daughter to have her own room. When you say things like that, it's like, damn, I now I see why.
She deserves it.
Yes, and I think that our creators, let me add value to that vision. Let me give someone more of the recipe and show him what he has to put in that recipe to make it
Absolutely.
taste great.
Absolutely.
You know?
And they say you have to use money as a tool, right? Money will only show you who you truly are.
100%.
And the impact that you have with that money. Right? My goal is not to be a quadrillionaire. I just want to be able to take care of my family and impact people that are around me. I want to show them the vision. And I'm nowhere where I want to be right now. I'm still figuring life out as every day goes on. And that's okay.
But that's, when you're a very ambitious person, I don't think you'll ever be. And I'm just being fair to you and fair to myself. Because you got to remember, in a sense of what you've done, you're the outlier because you were taught that degree your whole life.
And I want to touch on that, Q, by the way.
Yes. So I want you to too, but so was I.
Yeah.
Degree. And I remember when I started off as a barber, I was told that you'll never own a home. I was told that you'll never have money, you'll never have stability, you'll never, and when I started as a barber, they didn't understand that you have to master something in order to be great at other things. But you can be great at a lot of things, but a master of nothing.
Yes.
So what I decided to do was master being a barber and then learn great skills after doing that. I learned money skills. I learned people skills. I learned how to deal with my anxiety, my depression, my stress, because I was talking to people who were going through similar battles. So I became a therapist behind that chair. There are things that I was able to overcome because I was able to master this skill. So this skill wasn't just about cutting hair. It was fixing me.
So now, Q, I want to ask you, is college necessary in order to be successful?
I think it depends on the person's route. Because if you said to be a doctor, that's what your goal is, yes.
Yes.
But if you told me a person that's lazy and he told me they want to be an entrepreneur, I tell him he better go to college. It depends on, because hustling comes with a lot of sacrifice, right? Because I'm gonna be honest with you, there were times I'm pretty sure your bills came before your luxuries and anything you wanted.
Absolutely, and
there
still
were
to
times,
this day.
listen, when I first got my first business, I was making just enough to cover my bills. I didn't have no overage.
Yeah, and they say most businesses don't break even till what, 2 to 3 years?
2 to 3 years.
2 to 3 years.
But again, I didn't see no levels of return initially because, again, remember, when I got my barbershop, I was forced into that barbershop. And I'm going to tell you why. Think about it. Remember the old owner that owned that shop? He was going through a divorce.
Yes.
I wanted to stay there because I got comfortable there. So he was like, either A, I'm going to sell a shop, or B, you'll buy the shop. I didn't want to buy the shop.
So now, so let's take a step back.
Yeah.
Were you ready at the time? So when the opportunity presented itself, were you ready?
And I would say no because I had 2 feet. I had 1 foot that still wanted to go back into what I was good at, which was in the streets.
Yeah.
And I had another foot that was in the barbershop that kind of loved it. But I was like, but this is easier.
Yeah.
So a part of me it was like a tug of war.
Yeah.
So, but what I'm gonna be honest with you is, when I bought the barbershop, I was still on parole. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I didn't know that, this would be the outcome. But one thing I've learned is, there was no place, I'm gonna be honest with you, and this is me being very vulnerable. I moved around so much that I never had an emotional attachment to no places. No items, no nothing. I moved around so much throughout my whole life that I never had no emotional attachments to any items. I had emotional attachments to people, but never clothes, shoes. I didn't care about those things. Because again, I always had to share, because I come from 6 siblings. It was never, and then I never had my own room. I didn't have my own room till I was an adult. You understand what I'm saying? We couldn't afford it. So again, I never had the emotional attachments. That barbershop was my first emotional attachment to a material thing. And it wasn't about the things that was in the shop. It was the people that was coming in there and pouring into me. And I was like, damn.
That's where you learned your primary skills. That's where you learned your primary skills.
Yes. And it was like releasing a lot of times. I would have never met you if I never cut hair. I've met some of my greatest people who play major chapters in my life in that barbershop, which is crazy. Because I've been in the world everywhere, and there's not one place. If you tell me right now in my existence, what place outside of your home means the most to you, I would say that barbershop. All the businesses I've owned, the clubs, all of these things, there's no emotional connection. It's just business.
You learned so much from the people that came in there. That, think about how many people that come into Q's Quality Cuts don't even get a cut, just come and have a conversation with you.
Sit in there.
And I know anytime I come through, anytime I know I'm very busy, I try to come, and me and you have a great conversation every time I come in there.
Because you know what it is? Energy don't lie. And when you feel real energy, your energy is always gonna lure you to what's real. Fake people always have the most friends because they're fake.
Yeah.
The faker you are, the deeper you are. Just keep that in mind. The more realer you are, the more isolated and solo by yourself. It's the truth.
Yeah.
I've noticed that now, being real with myself all the time, I don't have as much friends because I traded the quantity for quality. All my friends now, they're more quality-driven people, purposeful people who are literally focused on their lives. And it's weird because we don't have to see each other every day. Like my best friend, I don't have to talk to him every day. But when we talk, it's like we never left.
And that's exactly how I feel with you, bro.
Because we hustling.
We hustling. We're using every day to hustle. So you don't have to talk. You don't have to talk to your friends every day.
No,
you don't.
No.
And it's, what do you say? It's quality over quantity. So I'm going to give you in my field, right? Okay. So I can sell 30 cars. I can sell a bunch of C classes. I can sell a bunch of G wagons. Now that my expenditure of energy is high. Versus what I can do is I can focus on high net worth value people, and I can sell 6 G-Wagons. Those 6 G-Wagons could equate the same paycheck of me selling 30 cars.
Wow.
So I think with guys, that's the same way with people that you're going to keep around you. You want to keep quality people. You don't want to keep volume people around you, because the more people that you have into the air, the more your mind will play tricks on you.
It's along the journey, the true battle is your old self versus the new version who you're trying to become. I think most people don't understand that you have to isolate yourself for a term until you truly become comfortable with you. Because again, you were seeing this person that you wanted to become. So was I. And the reality is, me telling people that was initially around me would have pushed me back to where I started. Because again, that ain't gonna happen for you. Oh my God, you're wasting your time. You wanna live where? Oh, that's crazy.
And this is why you have to be very careful of who you tell your dreams and ambitions to.
Yes.
Be very careful, guys. Be very, very careful.
You-
Because if you want to kill, if you want to kill a big dream, tell it to a small-minded person.
But if you're the small-minded person, they can only think small-minded.
Yes.
So it's like, but again, when you start elevating, you know that it's time to move on. They say if you're the
That's why you
wisest
gotta
amongst
be
your crew
careful.
and your circle, that means you've outgrown the circle.
Yeah.
And again, I look at people like, yo, I want to be challenged. I like to be challenged. I like when someone tell me something. Like even when I have conversations, this is how the shop operates. I don't, unless it's someone that I know that really, really needs me to just pour into them, I'm gonna pour into them because I know they need it.
Yeah.
Right. But if it's an open forum conversation all the time where people add value to the conversation,
Of course.
But again, when I look at logic, there aren't many black forums where black people can meet up, really vent about personable problems that we're going through and feel
Not at all,
vulnerable
because
and
it's-
not be judged.
Yeah, because in our community, it's a competition. It's a race. It's a race rather than other religions, other ethnicities. They work together.
Yes.
We have to do a better job of working together. Each one teach one.
Look, if I go in a room full of black people, I want y'all to hear this. I'll say something like, yo, black people, we got to work on getting off of social services so we can start setting up our children and get them so we can stop passing it on. The first thing they'll say to me is,
What?
but white people on Section 8 too. I'm like, all you did was just move the goalposts. Listen, I'm not worried about what that's like if you have two children, you caught one of your kids doing something wrong, and they say, Allie did it too. Like, no, let's not do that. I said, let's focus on what we're focused on. Let's not keep moving the goalposts. Otherwise, it's going to continue to be the problem. I used to do that when I was unaccountable. I'd be like, I sell drugs, but my brother sell more. You know what I'm saying? I would create something weird to make me justify my behavior. I would say, at least I got more money than him, but we both really broke. And that would be my excuse to keep accommodating my behaviors.
Yeah.
And I kept saying it over and over.
And
It's repetitional.
My favorite video that you posted
Okay.
was broke people only impress
Broke people. Yeah,
That has stayed with me forever, bro.
it's the truth,
Yeah.
bro. And look, last night you called me, right? So he called me. So I FaceTimed him because I was like, you know what? He called me early and I didn't answer. I said, you know what? I'm going to FaceTime him.
Yeah.
So I FaceTime you.
I'll call you again. I don't care.
but I don't care either.
I'll call you 2-3 times.
Yo, bro, I don't
And I
even
don't take
care.
it personal.
Nah.
Because I know you're busy.
But if he hit me, I was watching. I'm a Michigan Wolverine fan.
Yeah.
So I was watching the football game in the theater. So I went from
Theater, by the way.
a theater, but I'm sitting in my. I remember not even having a room
Yeah.
to being able to sit in the theater in my home, watching the football game on like a 200-inch screen. It's like, yo, that's crazy. But again, I knew I could do those things though, and now I'm not impressed. And it's weird because sometimes even in the house you in, your ambitions start outgrowing at home.
Exactly.
It's crazy.
And you can't, so for me, it's like, wow, I want so much more, but I cannot let ambition trick me out of my spot.
100%.
I can't.
But they say comparison is the thief of joy. So if you start comparing yourself, the only person you should be able to compare yourself to is who you was yesterday.
Yes.
As long as you were better than what you were yesterday, then you on the road.
That's it.
Listen, if
You versus you.
if I started off in this town and I drove to this town, I move further. And if I have a goal I want to get to, and just keep doing it.
Yeah.
And just keep doing it.
It's aggressive patience, Q. It's
It
aggressive
is.
patience. You gotta know what you want, but you gotta be patient. You gotta understand where you're going, but be patient throughout the process.
You know why most people aren't patient?
Why?
Because I don't think they believe in their dream. And I'm gonna give you something further. If we know that we worship a God, a creator, right? When you really look at it, a lot of people are very narcissistic in their dream. And I'm gonna tell you why. Because if you go to me right now and you tell me that God is the giver of dreams, right? He's the giver. So there's a driving force that controls us.
Absolutely.
So if you tell me right now when, where, and how you're gonna have your dream, you just told your father, right? You overtalked your father and told him, give it to me now. If your daughter looked you in your face and said, give it to me now, would you give it to her?
No.
So
not
how
at
do
all.
we look at our God selfishly and tell him when we want something? You understand? That is crazy when you think about that. To look
on,
at God and
Q.
tell,
Come
if he's
on,
the
Q.
driver, he tells us when.
Yeah.
He said, keep doing it. I'm gonna be in the midst. That's all he promises.
Yeah.
And then when you start seeing little gems, remember that 10,000 you used to dream about? When you passed that 10,
Yeah.
and then when you thought about that 6 figures, and you passed that
The
six
six
figures, he was in the midst. He kept you disciplined, he kept you resilient, he kept you healthy, he kept you focused. That's how it is. Because again, now you want to supersede all my other children.
Yeah.
All my other children I love equally. You want me to say, forget about them, but you want to be the special one that want the big numbers. But you got to show me that you're worthy. You got to show me you're worthy. That's how I think God operates with me. Exactly. And that's how our conversations go. He's like, you got to show me. Show me. Stop crying. You said you want this. You wanted this big plate of food.
He rewards hard work.
Come on.
He rewards hard work.
He says faith without work is what? It's dead. It's nothing. It's nothing.
Yeah.
And that's what I think that we have to understand, that along this journey, we have to keep going to the Creator, because it is a mental, it is an emotional, it is a physical, and it is a spiritual battle that you're going. Because even if you look at the financial one alone, you challenge yourself from the 1,000 to the 10,000. That's a whole new realm. Psychologically, you got to be to get from $1,000 to 10,000.
But the crazy part is, you could have thought that you weren't even going to get there, and then now you superseded that.
Wow.
If I would have told you that I would have made 6 figures my first year, I would have told you you're lying.
I seen it in you. We gotta go further. He did a company, right? It was called Incredible Waivers.
Yeah.
And he was mad young. And I'm gonna be honest with you, this is at the time I was doing music.
Yeah. This
and
is
I was
before
running around.
e-commerce was even a thing.
Yeah, before e-commerce was big. He was already running around with a company called Incredible Waivers. Incredible Waivers was you selling tons of do-rags, right? Brushes, wave grease. He was wilding. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I took some of his strategy, and he didn't even know that, because I was working with an artist that I got signed to a major label, and he's done major things. A lot of people don't know that about my background, that I worked with a kid that I took from a little town in New York, found this kid, signed him, built a studio in the basement of my barbershop, ran all the circuits with this kid, and got him signed to a major label. If you'd have told me that was possible, I knew it was possible. Nothing in me said that that kid wouldn't blow up. Nothing in me said that. I knew he would. Because, again, when I would tell people I invested this amount of money in it, they was like, you crazy. But I already saw the return. So when you're doing something that you genuinely know, only you can see the return. They don't see it. Because you knew I was making the right deposits. I was making the right relationships. Yeah. I was building the right formula to get into the rooms I wanted to get into.
And that's what makes you so special, Q, is that you are able to pivot. If you look at the situation with the fire, what did you do? You were in a new location the next day.
The next day.
Most people see that and they crumble.
And I was able to bring my team with me. Ain't that crazy? And I was able to bring the whole barbershop with me.
Yeah.
In another space.
You got out the music. You pivoted. The club. I remember. Do you remember when you brought me to the club in Astoria the first time?
Yes.
And we're eating crab legs outside the spot?
Yes. I do remember. That's funny. I do remember that.
Yeah. So I've seen the elevation.
You hear the craziest story that ever happened at that club? There was a kid that was in my barbershop, young man. He was making a lot of money. And I said, let me have a conversation with you about finance. He said, respectfully, I decline. I'm not gonna listen to a barber tell me about finances. So, humbly, I don't like showing anything. Yeah. So I don't really care what somebody think about me at this point. You think I'm a bum? I'm a bum. If that lets you sleep at night, so be it. Because tonight I'll sleep in my California King. You understand? Yeah, that's a flex.
Yeah.
Tonight I will sleep in my California King. Confidently. Right? But again, I'm not saying that to be arrogant. Yes, I am. I'm lying. I am. But again, he tried to play me. So I stayed quiet. I said, no problem. That night, I saw that same kid at my club. And we're not talking about a 1,000 square foot nightclub. No. We're talking about 11,000 square foot nightclub, right?
Full staff.
Yes. So anyway, I go to the nightclub. I see him.
Bottle service.
Yes. I walk with a cup. So I see him in a section. I'm on the stage. He didn't see me on the stage. But while I'm on the stage, one of my lights hit him, and I saw him. So I'm going to go and say what up. So I walked down the stage. He didn't see me. And I walk up to him. I said, what up, my guy? He said, what's going on? He said, yo, Q, no funny. You too old to be walking around a club with a cup. I said, that's 2 times.
Yeah.
He dissed me in the barbershop. Now he dissing me here. So I said to him, I said, young man, let me ask you a question. You bought all these bottles tonight? He said, hell yeah. I said, how much you spent? He said, about $1,800, $2,000. So I said, let's say roughly 2,000. He goes, yeah. I said, how much you paid at the barbershop today? He said, like $40, $50. So let's say $50. I said, I made $2,050 off you today. He said, what'd you say? I said, I made $2,050 $50 off you today.
Yeah.
He didn't know what I meant by that. He said, what you mean by that? I said, earlier today, you spent $50 in my barbershop, and now you're in my club spending $2,000. He said, this is never your club. I said, why you say that? He said, this can't be your club. I said, what? Okay. I told my security guard to come here. I said, tell him to get off that damn chair. He said, get off the damn chair. He looked at me like, the next time he came in the barbershop, he said, can I holler at you? And I said, what's up? He said, yo, you gotta teach me finance. I said, I'm gonna teach you something first before you learn finance. He said, what? I said, you need to learn humility. I said, because most people that make money go broke because they're not humble. And I said,
yourself.
Come on.
Yeah.
And I
there's
said,
somebody always bigger than you. There's
Come
somebody
on.
always stronger than you.
Come on.
There's somebody always that's more knowledgeable.
Come on.
So now if you're not listening to that person, you don't humble yourself, you could have lost out on that gem.
Come on.
Your network is your net worth.
You know what he said to me the time?
What?
And I told him, I said, yo, your lack of humility put me in a box where you just assumed about me. And the only thing I just didn't want to see was another young black man making good money and throw it away trying to look like he got a lot of money. Because there's a difference between making money and actually having money. And a lot of people don't know the difference. There are people that make 6 figures a year, but they can't save $1,000 a year. It's
true.
They live in the red every year. So I told him, I said, you have people that make $50,000 a year and they save $20,000 a year. And they live in the green every year because they just that disciplined. And I told him, I said, young brother, you gotta realize that what you were taught about money, 99% of the time when I talk to young black men and women, it's not what money does. Money is discipline. Money is not boastful. Money is humble. Everybody I see that's really, really successful, you will never know.
So now, where does one start, Q? Right? Because we're in a era where social media, there's a lot of financial gurus, there's a lot of cap. Where does one start to get the financial education that you learned? Where does that person start?
I would start with reading. Once you open your mind to reading, seeing the words to me enlightens you more than actually hearing the words. I like to see the words, but there's some people that like to hear it, and it does the same thing for them. Like for me, some people are hands-on learners. Some people have to be shown. If they're shown, they can do it. And some people, they literally hands-on, and some people, they can just watch somebody do it and do it, right? It depends on the person. But for me, I would start with books. First book I would say is The Richest Man in Babylon. That's one of my favorite books. If you look at any phone I've ever had since 2012, always had in the books, always had The Richest Man in Babylon.
Another good one is, I would say, Rich Dad Poor Dad.
That's one of my favorites. It's downstairs.
I think
my library.
that's where the second book after The Richest Man in Babylon, they should start with Rich Dad Poor Dad.
And
that's
another one,
story.
I think what more black people need to read though, is The Millionaire Next Door.
See, I haven't. See, I'm gonna take you up on that.
See, that's a good one, and it's because it goes against the mentality of a lot of us. Because think about it, you have the millionaire next door, meaning y'all live next door to each other. But it's two different financial statuses. And the issue is with us is we like the imagery more than we like the reality. And a lot of times when you talk to black people, we're so captivated by what looks shiny that we believe that is a diamond. You know the perfect example, I think you said it the other day, somebody said it the other day, maybe it was you, Dre?
What?
Remember the other day when Tyrese was on the Breakfast Club? And he said, he showed the diamond bracelet. And then they was like, this is nice, right? They was like, yeah, that's nice. He took it off and said $23 from Amazon. Everyone thought that was a real diamond bracelet. But what you realize is you already made reservation that everything he has is real. And that's what we do when a person creates an image.
And now a lot of people, what I notice, we have shiny object syndrome. We cannot stick to one thing.
No.
Right? Because social media is a dopamine aspect to our brain. We see something, oh, this is cool. Wow, okay, you can make 10,000 off of this, cool. We can't stick to one thing. So now if you give 20% to 5 things, you'll never ever be successful.
Come on.
But if you give 100% to one thing, you will be successful because you're taking your time and energy and putting it all, your craft into that one thing, then that's when the level up happens. But then after you hit 100%, then you could jump to the next thing. But social media gives us that shiny object syndrome where we can't focus.
Why do you think I mastered being a barber?
Yeah.
You have to master something. Like you have to be a master of something.
A master of something? What's the saying?
They said great at a lot of things, but a master of nothing. A lot of people, they mastered nothing.
That's the problem, bro. And that's why I had to take a deep dive. I had to fix myself. Notorious B.I.G. said, we can't change the world unless we change ourselves.
100%.
So I had to lose the weight through the process of bends, and that's when my true level up happened. And then now I'm trying to master my craft, which I'm almost there, and then I'm gonna be able to jump to the next thing.
But you know something, naturally, people that are physically more pleasing to the eye make more money than people that aren't.
Of course, because you know when a person steps into the room and they're physically fit,
it says something.
Wow, it says something.
Yeah.
That person is disciplined. If that person can control what he puts in his mouth, he can control what he does on his everyday.
I agree 100%. You know, it's sad because like when you sit down and listen to people who really want to, they think they're gonna talk themselves into success. And I think that's one thing I don't like about social media. We've heard this term manifestation 1,000 times. I'm gonna manifestate this. I'm gonna you're gonna manifestate the same position you are today because the reason why you're in the position you are today, which is a bad one, is because you're making bad decisions.
You got to be careful of the term "New Year, New Me."
I hate that term too.
Because in January you got to see the gym. January everybody's in the gym. February come around, half those people are in the gym.
Someone said, "Jack of all trades, master of none." I like that. You're right.
Yeah.
That is a very famous saying. You know, but you see like. Let me ask you, so, and when we say this topic, today's topic is?
Most people fail because of?
And why do you really believe that most people fail?
Most people don't have discipline or consistency.
Okay, what else?
Most people don't have grit.
Where do you find these things?
Within yourself.
Okay, I'm happy you hear it. Because I watch some people, see when I tell people they say.
You gotta dig deep.
Yes. Affirmations are good.
Yeah.
So it keeps you on the journey, but it's all the work that you're doing that's gonna lead up to the great prize. You know, one of my mentors said, you love what I got going on? I said, I love it. He said, he said, you see my instant gratification? He said, this is 25 years of my instant gratification. He said, this is 25 years of sacrificing. And I looked at him and said, damn. He said, but y'all gotta see the Lamborghini, the range, the Ferrari.
Yeah.
He said, but you don't see 25 years. He said, Q, I used to work, and I like to say, when a person works more than average, I say 8 to 9 days a week. We know it's only 7.
7, yeah.
But I'm like, I work 8, 9 days a week. That's when you know you really grinded. When you're creating more days when others are sleeping. You know, when people are sleeping, I'm like, I'm creating more time for myself. I'm making the time for what I want. Success is something that you make time for, right? With your discipline. And not only do you make the reservation for it, you literally lock yourself in a room and commit yourself to it. It's what you settle for, right?
I think most people are successful, and I'll give myself this, is I had extreme delayed gratification. And when buying the house, I didn't take $1 from mom. I didn't take $1 from dad. If I'm lying, I'm flying.
I believe it.
Right? And I had to really dig deep because I wanted to do it myself. And that mortgage process, what people don't realize, and it's a true thing, the amount of documentation that they asked me for
100%.
to make sure that I'm a qualified buyer, it's crazy.
Yes.
So if I didn't have that delayed gratification, and I remember it's the 50, 30, 20 rule, right? So 50 of your bill, 50 of that percent goes to your expenses.
Yes.
30% goes to needs, and then the rest goes to savings.
Yes.
If I didn't have that, I wouldn't be where I am today.
But now, I'm pretty sure you're gonna smile when I ask you this. You say you bought during COVID. This is about 2021. We're in 2025. You see the amount of equity you've obtained since?
Insane. Now, if I would have said, you know what? No, it's true. The amount of equity is crazy. But if I would have probably not be uncomfortable, you know how when you were uncomfortable buying that shop?
Yes.
I was uncomfortable buying the house because
Of course.
I didn't know if this Mercedes-Benz thing was going to even work out. So now, if I would have just took the route of just renting, I wouldn't have that equity.
No.
So sometimes you got to take that risk.
But you know what? I want everyone to understand this. You'll never become a millionaire without assets. unless you just the substantial anomaly. Most people that are everyday millionaires are people that bought everyday assets, park their capital, remain disciplined, resilient, paid into their 401ks. The average millionaire is about 61, 62 years old.
I got to talk about that, Q.
And one thing I don't like with young people and people in general, they want to redefine gravity. And I'm like, when you want to redefine gravity, you got to be doing things that's showing that you want to redefine gravity.
Come on, Q.
Like you can't tell me.
Come on, Q.
Come on.
Yeah.
If you take a regular, okay, let me say like a firework, and you shoot it in the sky that it never meets the moon.
Yeah.
But you got to put a rocket to shoot it to the moon. So you got to accelerate yourself to the point where you know that this is what you want. I'm locked all the way in no matter what.
So now, watch this, right? So you spoke about 401k, and this is going to tie back into delayed gratification.
Yes.
So now I get paid every month, Q, right?
Yes.
So now I can withhold out of my check, right, and put it towards my 401k.
Yes.
So now what I did was when I first started working, right, this was during COVID, everything is going over stick. I said, you know, rather than me taking the whole pie, let me put some away.
Yes.
So now I put 8% away for about, ever since I've been with Benz, this is going on, 6 years now. Now, if I didn't have that delayed gratification, I would not have what I have now in my 401k. I wouldn't. So sometimes you have to sacrifice, right? And sometimes, I want to buy my girl that Gucci bag. Yeah, I want to put Allie in this and that. But sometimes I can't do that. It's a sacrifice.
It's a sacrifice.
So I know I can live better later on. And that's what I'm doing.
When we blow your mind, there was a time when me and my son used to live in a room together. I got custody of my son.
Shout out to Nate, by the way.
Yeah. I was living in a room with him. Not an apartment. A room in a basement. Right? And I want you to hear this. So this is a true testimony, bro. We were living in a basement. My mom was foreclosing on her home. She was losing her house in Baldwin. My mom, I've never seen my mom cry so hard in my life that it made me feel like less of a man because I couldn't save her. And it got me focused. It pushed me into real estate, right? And the funny thing is, I saved more money in 1 year of living in that basement because of my discipline than I've saved in my entire life. In my entire life. 1 year. I was so focused that, bro, I'm talking about I'm cooking. They like, let's go out to eat. No. Yo, my son here tell you he's coming from school. Yo, literally, I was letting him take lunch to school. He was coming back. We was eating at home. Yo, it was just discipline upon discipline upon discipline. I canceled his membership. We did joint memberships so I could save money there. I put him on my family plan so I could save money there. I literally locked in. I got rid of my 650 BMW. I said, you can have it. I got rid of the BMW. I said, you know what? I know what I have to do. When I bought my home, I bought my house cash on a foreclosure, right? I put all the construction out of pocket into my property because I barely wanted to touch that money. Fixed up my house the way I wanted it, sold it back to myself, and took a lot of my initial investment back to the point where my house, which is worth, we ain't got to talk crazy, but I have more equity in my house than my actual mortgage is. I would have never did that if I wasn't disciplined, if I didn't lock in that basement, in that room, and stay there with my son. My son used to sleep at the foot on a blow-up mattress of the room, right? And my son at the time, he's in high school. He was in high school at the time, 9th grade. I said, I got this, bro. Y'all remember one time, and I'm gonna keep it 100 with you, Dre.
I get inspired when I hear this.
I left the room. I told my son, I got this, don't worry about it.
I got work to do, guys. I got a lot of work to do.
Yo, man, I'm being fair. I walked out the room. I told my son, I said, I got us. I went in the bathroom. Remember, it was only a bedroom and a bathroom. I locked myself in the bathroom and took a shower and cried because I was scared. I was scared. I didn't know, could I qualify for a house? Could I do it? Yo, I was worried about, not having enough. Every emotion attacked me with pursuing my greatest version of myself. There would be some days I'll go outside and I'll get jumped by stress and aggravation the same day. I get tormented. I'm literally getting jumped. I'm walking down the street, next thing I get hit in the head with fear.
Yeah.
And then someone calling me with their stress and I'm taking on their problems. And every emotion, bro, I started feeling everything. And I'm gonna tell you what, one thing I did was, I got out the driver's seat, right? And I said, God, take the wheel. I said, one thing I know, I'm following you. I got you. Everything I know you got me. Because he ain't never left me nor forsake me, bro. Every time you hear me say anything great, you're going to always hear God in the midst. Because there is no success without him, bro. There is none, bro. He is the gatekeeper. When I hear people tell me man is gatekeeper, I'm like, you sound crazy. There is no man that's a gatekeeper. Because God will kick down the gate and make you the owner of the gate now. This is what I've seen him do.
Bro, this is why you are so powerful. This is why you're so powerful.
Appreciate it.
Like, this is why I get inspired. Exactly like this. I'm sitting here, I'm learning. I feel like I should have bought a notepad.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
It's like, you're giving me you're giving everybody all the tools and resources to be successful, bro. Seriously, and I really mean that. I look up to you, dude.
I appreciate that. You know what's something funny? I'm gonna be honest with you. And I told Dre this other day, for the first time in my life, I love myself. And it sounds crazy. Never loved myself. You don't do things bad to yourself when you love yourself. I put myself in prison. I got kicked out of college. Full ride to school and threw it away. There's a lot of things that I don't talk about, but I never gave up. I stood strong. I fought as a man. Only God. God.
Damn.
God is good, bro.
That is crazy.
God is so good.
And everybody watching this, I pray that God heals you from stuff that you're not talking about. I'm gonna say that again. I pray that God heals you for things that you are not talking about. It's crazy, bro. From what we came from, it's crazy.
Yes.
We were the outliers.
What?
Come on now. Everybody that's watching this, come on now. Come on now.
No excuses.
No excuses.
None.
Come on, every day we wake up, we gotta change it.
That's fine.
We every day that God wakes us up in the morning is giving us a new opportunity to write our story. You ever see people pass and on the flyer they put 1990 what to 2020 and there's that dash in between.
Yes.
There's that dash in between. That dash in between is your story.
Yes, it is.
Come on, we got two queens that we raised and that are right here next to us that are hearing our story, our testimony.
You know, there's something, and I had to celebrate this moment the other day.
Man,
the other day.
Oh, y'all telling me that God is not good, bro? What?
I don't even care. The other day I go to drop my daughter at school, right? And my daughter happens to be one of the very small amount of black children at the school, right? And I'm gonna blow your mind. When we leave the school, right, the day we picked her up, I looked at her and I said, you see how you breaking down that barrier? Your mother and father breaking down that barrier with you. While you're standing there, that only little black kid, we the only black parents there with you. And said, not only we the only ones here, we're gonna inspire more to get here too. And I said, that's, somebody has to do it. And it starts with you. And I looked at my little daughter and I said, it starts with you. You're the one. I was the one that had to get us here, but you're the one that's gonna keep us here. It's you.
Legacy.
What?
Yeah.
Some people don't understand. When it's bigger than you, God will make it big enough for you. That's what you gotta keep saying. It has to be bigger than you. It can't be me. Me, I'm a small vessel that God uses, but it's bigger than me. My story is a testimony for the world to share, to be inspired. When I die, I don't want people to say the house he had or I want them to say the impact he left on me. That's what matters.
You're doing it now.
Appreciate it.
You're doing it now, big bro.
To God to give the glory.
Come on, what? Like all the people that you impacted me. I can say out of the top 5 people, I listened to you, I watched you grow, bro.
Wow.
And I'm still listening to you this day. How many times I've called you, Q, what you think about this?
A lot. And I love talking to you because this is how our conversations go. Every time we talk, this is how we talk. It's just genuine.
Working out together.
Yes.
Bouncing ideas off of each other.
Yes.
That's how friendships work. If your friend cannot motivate you to where you need to be, they are not your friend.
Well, you know what I want to say, and I want to say this to somebody. The one thing I love about you, even when you're passionate about something, you're always open about hearing my opinion about it.
Of course.
A lot of people aren't like that. And that's a skill. And even when I give an idea to somebody and they tell me their honest opinion about it, I've noticed I'm very receptive. Like Dre will tell you, if I'm building something, I'll ask my guys, what do you think we should do? What do you think?
Yeah.
And I'm comfortable with that because I love being a student. I'm very humble to learn and to grow.
You got to be, yeah. You got to be a student. You got to be a student to the game.
100%. 100%. But tell them where they can keep up with you at.
Look, so you guys can follow me on my journey, and I'm saying a journey. I don't even say Instagram. You guys can follow me on my journey at George Baptiste Jr. You know I'm Haitian by the name.
Baptiste.
Baptiste. George Baptiste Jr. And guys, I just want to give you my story. I want you guys to be inspired by me because I'm somebody that doesn't have it all figured out. I'm somebody that still be inspired by Q, by many other mentors. And I'm taking everybody's opinion and I'm blending it up and I'm paving that path into my own way. I got a queen right here, Allie, she's 5, and she's looking up to me. And I want to be able to pass her down something, Q.
You will. Because like I said, you every time you speak, I'm noticing you cared. Before you were the breadwinner, you cared about being the breadwinner. See, a lot of men that I talk to, they say it with their mouth, but not their actions. For me, knowing you, you've always been that kind of guy where you really wanted to be the breadwinner in your family. Not because of ego, not because of pride, because of what you wanted to put your family in position to have.
I just wanted to provide, bro. I still want to provide. I want to provide for my wife. I want to provide for my daughter, right? I want my family to be like, wow, George, you did it.
And I'm going to be honest with you, I'm very proud of you.
Appreciate it, bro.
I'm very proud of you. And you know I don't say that unless I mean it.
I know.
I don't just give flowers for no reason. I give flowers when I mean it. You know, and I want you to know that I'm looking forward to the next chapters. I've seen the beginning chapters. And I'm literally, when I say beginning, guys, he's been with me since he was a little boy. Since he didn't know himself. Yeah, bro. I watched him become this great man.
It's crazy, bro. And really...
I'm inspired by you. And I'm going to be honest with you, definitely on my health journey, I'm going to get reacclimated with the gym as much as possible again. You know, he's definitely changed his body. You know, I remember...
You look good, you feel good, bro. And I say that, bro. So everybody, self-grooming is very, very important.
100%.
You ever get a haircut? Like, look at how many people that I watch.
Yeah.
I watch your Instagram stories of
Look
how
like
many people you transformed. Come on, bro. You look good, you feel good.
Some people say to me, yo, Q, I didn't even know you could cut. I say, I never post cuts because I do more than just cut hair.
Yeah.
I mold lives. And I think God has given me that sanctuary and that platform to continue to touch and inspire. And I think my barbershop is not a barbershop. I think it's a sanctuary. I think where people can come and leave their problems at the altar and not feel like they're gonna be ostracized or judged. I want them to know that, yo, coming to me and crying and feeling, I'm not gonna laugh at you. I said, what I will do is, when it's my turn, I want you to also be the shoulder that I can cry on. Because I think men and women, we gotta realize that we gotta help each other more.
We have to.
We gotta help each other more.
Yeah.
You know, you guys say anything before we get out of here today?
No, that's it. Guys, I appreciate you for tapping in. I pray that God heals you from things that you are not talking about. And I ask God, and as we end this, I'm asking God that everybody that's tuning in abroad, I want y'all just to take time and think. Take time to work on yourself.
Yes. Yes.
I love y'all. George Baptiste Jr., give me a follow. Shoot me a DM. I love connecting with new people.
He does.
Let's go.
He does.
Mr. Q, I appreciate you, man.
I appreciate you more. Listen,
you're my mentor, my guy.
Listen, I don't know how much of an honor that is to say because a lot of the young guys made me who I am today. And y'all don't even know that. It's because, one, I was not getting left off of Bad and Bougie. I'm keeping it 100. I didn't want my young guys to run laps around me. Yeah. And when you watch them grow up and you're like, yo, hold on, I got to stay on my toes. And then they look up to you so much
this is a great episode.
that it keeps you focused.
It's a great
y'all kept me focused, bro. Oh, y'all kept me focused, bro. Listen.
Love.
Love is love, guys. I love you guys. Till next time.
Let's get it.
Don't let that go over your head.